Does your brand feel disconnected or outdated? Or does it just feel like it's not quite representing what you want your business to be? In this video, I'm going to walk you through the key steps to transforming your brand identity so that it aligns with your business goals and attracts your ideal audience. Now, before we dive in, if you're struggling with your branding, you'll find my free workbook really helpful. The 4-step process to go from vision to visuals. This will walk you through the steps that you need to take to create a really strong brand identity. So if that's something you're stuck on, make sure you check out the link below and download that. When you have a clear and cohesive brand identity, everything starts to fall into place and become easier and more effective. Things like your marketing and your engagement, all these things start to become more effective and more easy when you get your brand identity right. Your brand identity needs to reflect your core values and your mission. It's not just about looking nice, but what it is that you're trying to communicate about your business and what it is that really sets you apart. The main thing that's going to set your business apart from others in your industry that offer similar things to similar people are the things that your brand stands for, your core values and your mission, what matters most to you. And this is also going to help you attract the right kind of people, because when you put your brand values and your mission front and center, it's going to attract people that feel a similar way, people that also see those things as important. And so you start to find that you attract people that are similar minded and you feel like you just click with them so much better because they value the kinds of things that you value. And you'll also start to build a more loyal following. People who value and see certain things as really important are going to be attracted to your brand over others because of that. And so they're going to become more loyal to you and really love what you have to offer because you've set yourself apart in that way. And so we need to communicate that through our branding. If you just put it in a little values section somewhere on your about page, it's less likely people are going to notice that. We really need to make sure that that shines through, that this message is loud and clear so it really attracts the right people. So take the time to ask yourself, what kind of impact do you want to make? What is important to you? What is important to your brand? It could be the way you source certain things, like maybe you source more sustainable packaging. It could be your processes. It could be the way that you treat people in your business. Really think about the things that are important to you and the way that you run your business. Your next step is to really get clear on your ideal audience. Who are they and what are they going through? You want to be sure that your branding speaks to these people. Your brand identity isn't just about the way it looks, it's also about how it resonates with your ideal customer. Because in many ways, your brand is that thing that connects your business to your ideal customer. So we need to make sure it's that shining light, that thing that attracts them and draws them in so they want to get to know your business. Knowing your ideal audience and who they are and what they want is really key to creating a brand that really connects. It's really going to attract those people and connect with them. You want to take the time to create a detailed profile of your customer. You want to get to know who they are, how they feel, what their desires are, what they're struggling with, what their day-to-day life looks like. You really want to tap into who this person is and their mindset. This will help you tailor a brand message that's really going to resonate with that person and make your brand look like that shining light, that thing that they're searching for. So when they come across your brand, they're like, yes, this is what I have been looking for. Without getting clear on who it is you're talking to, it's more than likely you're just going to think about yourself. You're going to create a brand that appeals to your personal tastes, that talks about yourself and your business, but isn't taking into consideration who you're actually trying to attract. And the thing is, you're probably quite similar to your audience, and so yes, there'll be certain things that overlap there. But the thing is, they're going to you for a solution. You offer something that they need. And so there's something that will set you apart from them. You're not exactly like them. You may be very similar in a lot of ways, but you may have more knowledge than them about something. You may have more skills than them in something. There's something that you can offer that they need. And so you really need to tap into that. You need to get to know what it is that they're struggling with, what it is that they need, what are their desires and their dreams, so that you can really appeal to that. Once you understand who it is you're speaking to, then you can start looking at your brand visuals. So your brand visuals are things like your logo, your fonts and your colors and your little graphic elements, all those visual elements of your branding. Because it's those visual elements that are going to set that first impression. Before people start reading about you, start getting into your world and getting to know you and your personality, they're first going to get a first impression of your business by the way that it looks. And so it's really important that we use use our visuals to communicate a message. We need our visuals not to just look nice, but actually say something about our business. It needs to position our brand. It needs to showcase who this is for and what we offer and what we're all about. Creating a feeling and a mood. It's so important that we really are communicating something through the visuals that we choose. And so you really want to tap into the psychology of it all. What do different colors mean and what kind of feeling do they create? How do fonts position your brand? All those things really matter to make sure that you're communicating the right message to the right people through your visuals. The final step then is making sure your branding is consistent. So we've got clear on what we want to communicate, who we're communicating to, we've created visuals that communicate that message, but now it's so important that we stay consistent in our style, that every touch point has that same message and feeling. And so no matter where someone finds us, how they look at us on different places, it's all gonna feel consistent and like a cohesive brand. This allows you to really reinforce your message and become more familiar. As people connect with you at different touch points, your brand is gonna start to feel more and more familiar to them because it's consistent in every place. And as you become more familiar, it's actually going to help build a trust. And that's why it's so important. Now, in order to stay consistent, the easiest way to do this is to create a brand style guide. You need some sort of document that really lays out all your brand elements and how they are used. That way, whenever you go to create something for your brand, you've got guidelines of what needs to be used and how it should be used so that it's always going to be consistent. There's no guessing games involved. There's no, oh, that's close enough. There's no, oh, I just feel like being a bit creative today. You have guidelines that tell you this is how my graphics should look, this is how any kind of touch point should appear, this is how it should sound, this is how it should feel, and making sure that you're always being consistent with that. And this will not only build brand recognition, but also that all-important trust. Plus, it just makes things easier for you. You're not trying to scramble around and trying to remember what font you used last time, or what was that hex code again, or just guessing things. You've got this guideline that tells you exactly how to use your brand elements and what you should use. So it's just making your life easier as well. So if you want to transform your brand identity, remember, first you need to clarify your mission and values and what it is you want to communicate about your brand. Then who your audience is, who you're actually trying to speak to. Create visuals that communicate that message, and then be consistent in how your brand shows up in the world. So let me know in the comments below, which of these steps does your brand need the most work on? Which of these areas have you possibly overlooked that you may need to focus on more to create a more strong brand identity? And if you'd like to learn more about branding and graphic design, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.